Jai Shri Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 10, the departure of Lord Shri Krishna for Dvārakā. Here in the verse 8, it was mentioned that afterwards, when the Lord asked permission to depart and the king gave it, the Lord offered his respects to Maharaj Yudhishthira by bowing down at his feet, and the king embraced him. After this, the Lord, being embraced by others and receiving their obeisance, got into his chariot. So here it is mentioned, am amatra chabhya न जातः परिभर्ज्य विभज्यतम् अरुरोहरथम कैश्चित् परिभतो विभदितः. So here the purport is Maharaj Yudhishthira was the elder cousin of Lord Sri Krishna, and therefore while departing from him, the Lord bowed down and at the king's feet. The king embraced him as a younger brother. Although the king knew perfectly well that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, the Lord takes pleasure when some of his devotees accept him as less important in terms of love. No one is greater than or equal to Lord, but he takes pleasure in being treated as younger than his devotees. These are all transgressional pastime of the Lord. The impersonalist cannot enter into the supernatural role played by the devotee of the Lord. Thereafter, Bhima and Arjuna embraced the Lord because they were of the same age. But Nakula and Sahadeva bowed down before the Lord because they were younger than he. So here in the next verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 10, 9 and 10, Chapter 10, the departure of Lord Sri Krishna for Dvārakā. Here in the verse 9 and 10, it was mentioned that सुभद्रा द्रौपदी कुन्ती विराटतनया तथा गान्धारी धृतराष्ट्र जुजुगुर्धतयोनः वक्रादर्शश्च धमयश्च स्त्रियमत्य सूत्रसुतदयः न सेहिरे विमुह्यन्तो विरहं संगधर्मनम्. So here the purport is, here it is mentioned, at that time Subhadra, Draupadi, Kunti, Uttara, Gandhari, Dhritarashtra used to Kṛṣṇa, Nakula, Sahadeva, Bhimasena, Dhamayu, and Satyavati all nearly fainted because it was impossible for them to bear separation from Lord Sri Krishna. So here the purport is Lord Sri Krishna is so attractive for the living being, especially for the devotee, that it is impossible for them to tolerate separation. The conditioned soul under the spell of illusionary energy forgets the Lord, otherwise he cannot. The feeling of separation cannot be described because it can simply be imagined by devotees only. After his separation from Vrindavana and the innocent rural cow-herd boys, girls, ladies and others, they all felt shock throughout their lives. And the separation of Radharani, the most beloved cowherd girl, is beyond ex- expression. Once they met at Kurukshetra during a solar eclipse, and the feeling which was expressed by them in is a hard trending. There is, of course, a difference in the qualities of transcendental devotees of the Lord, but none of them who have ever contacted the Lord by directly communion or otherwise can leave him for a moment. That is the attitude of a pure devotee. So here it is, here in this three verse it was clearly mentioned that the Lord will accept the love according to the devotee itself. Whether some of them possesses their love as a elder, some of them possesses their love as a friend, some of them possesses their love by giving the respect to Lord Sri Krishna. Here it is clearly mentioned in each of the age, Lord is very lovable for them, even in the uh, in the separation of Vrindavana, in the separation of Kurukshetra. The love is identical. That is what it is mentioned in these three verses, and that is the attitude of a pure devotee. Jai Jagannath, Jai Sri Krishna.